of dealing with the offense tonight out there on the field.
100% agree. I mean, we're too many times we got ourselves in second and long. We have a variety of reasons, not just one reason. We got to be able to be manageable down in distances. You know, when you put yourself in bad situation, adverse situations versus a good defense, it's going to be really difficult to have success.
Hey, Coach, I know at this time of year, it's always challenging to differentiate between when one side of the ball does well, whether or not it's the other side of the ball, if they're just playing well, if the other side's struggling. But can you look at that defense and at least acknowledge that sometimes that's got a chance to be a really good defense, and that's going to be a tough task for the offense from time to time? No question. But at the same time, we got to worry about things that we can control. I think that's what, you know, I told the quarterbacks after the scrimmage is it's never about what somebody else does, because you can't control that. All you can control is yourself. All we can control is us. So for us, it's about watching the tape, seeing where we could have improved, what mistakes we made that had nothing to do with anybody else in the field. You know, we got to fix those problems. That will be Perry from Omaha.
Coach, was there anything you were happy about tonight? I've never seen you just so not happy walking into something.
We just got to be better. I mean, as a whole, you know, it just wasn't good enough tonight offensively. Like I said, put ourselves in bad situations. And you can't do that versus good defense. You can't do that versus anybody. You put yourself behind the sticks all night, and it's very, very difficult to be successful.
Next, we'll go to Randy from Warchant. Coach, you and Coach Norvell talk about sort of creating your offense around your talent, your playmakers. Do you now have two scrimmages to look at things and see what they can execute better, or are you still at a point where this team needs to learn how to run the stuff that you and Mike need to be able to run consistently to set up other stuff?
Well, I think it's always about the players. You know, this system is built for players, and we're going to adapt it around players. So I think to answer your question, a little bit of both. You know, we're trying to figure out what we're good at. One, we're trying to also run enough variety of things to find out what we're good at. Because you can't find out what you're good at if you run what you're good at over and over again. Because then you don't know if you're good at anything else. So I think it's kind of the combination of both is after those two scrimmages, you know, trying to figure out what we're good at by running a multitude of things, and now narrowing that down now that we know what we're good at, and kind of narrowing that focus going into the next few weeks, and really getting our guys all on the same page with what we now know we can be successful at.
You guys talked a week ago about trying to find the best five up front. Do you feel any closer a week later after the first scrimmage to the second scrimmage?
I definitely think we're closer, but I don't think we have enough film yet to make a decision there. This is going to be a competition all the way to the end at a variety of spots, variety of positions, and that's what makes greatness is competition, and that's going to continue.
Kenny, were there? I know the offense didn't perform as well as you'd expect, but were some guys that flashed tonight? At least there's some hopes that some guys that look good at times.
To be honest, I look at one picture. I look at us as a unit, and it's not about one person. It's not about two people. It's about a group. And today, as a group, I didn't think we were good enough. Some people, you know, made plays but weren't consistent. And in order to be a good offense, you have to have consistency. You can't have a good play. And I think that's what defined today is 20-yard gain, 7-yard loss, 2nd and 17. That's the one thing that separates great offenses is you have to be able to own the ball, and you have to sustain drives. And that's where we failed today. We failed sustaining drives as a unit because self-inflicted wounds and great plays made by the other side.
Last week, I know Coach Norvell kind of challenged the offense. I'm sure you did and all the coaches did after, I think it was Monday practice. And it seemed like they responded well to that. Did you get the sense tonight when you spoke to some of the players that do you feel good about the way they'll respond to this?
I do. I think that's what this program is about. We're going to be about response. You know, Tuesday's practice, I believe it was Tuesday, we came out and had a great day. We got better, and Today, not so good of a day. And all you can do is respond. I mean, that's all you have. There's nothing else to do. So we're going to show up tomorrow. We're going to watch the film. We're going to find out how we can get better. And we got to improve. And we're going to do, I'm going to say the exact same thing. When we're good, when we're bad, when it's ugly, when it's great, there's always something to improve on. And we just got to continue to get better every single day.
Go back to Chris from 247.
I know you want to see improvement across the board, but how did the quarterbacks do at handling specifically what you were putting on their plate this evening?
I think they did a nice job. I mean, I think there was a few times they could have hung in the pocket a little longer, gone through their progressions a little longer. But I mean, one of the positives of the night where we had one turnover on a drop ball, and you're playing 100 and something snaps, and that's the one turnover. You know, we shouldn't have that one turnover, but if there was a positive, it was as an offense us owning the football. So I like where we are at that position. Obviously, we got to progress. We got to get better. Just like everybody else with the details, taking proper drops, all the finer details of that position. But at the same time, I want to look at the tape before I really give a full evaluation on how we played, because the tape don't lie.
Next will be Wayne McGahee from Tallahassee Democrat.
Hey, Coach. Hope you're doing well tonight. There's a lot of young guys on that offense that are fighting for playing time, specifically true freshmen. How have you seen them come along from week 1 to week 2, and now maybe have their feet a little more set on the ground during that second scrimmage?
I mean, for them, when you're a true freshman, it's about consistency, because the ups and the downs, the length of camp, the physicality of camp, the learning the new system, right? So I think those guys have done a nice job learning it. I think for them, it's about being consistent, because that's what veterans do. Veterans can show up every day and be the same person, and you can count on them. So I think for those freshmen, those young guys looking to make an impact, we just want to see the consistency out of them. And for the most part, that's what they've shown.
There, obviously in offensive football, there are going to be games or quarters or stretches where things just aren't clicking. What do you look for in games to turn that around? And is that what you were kind of missing tonight? Anybody stepping up to kind of change the tide in that regard?
I think the motto is just the next play. I mean, momentum only affects people who allow it to affect them. When you think about it, momentum is nothing more than a figure of your imagination. If you let momentum affect you, it's going to affect you. But if you take momentum head on and you just say, all that matters is the next play, then that's the only play that matters. And then the next play, and then the next play. And that's what we talk about as a program. That's what Coach Norvell talks about, is we can't be a team that gets affected by momentum. It's all about the next play. And I think today was a good learning curve for our guys. We had some ups, we had some downs. There was never that next play mentality. And that's something we got to coach better. That's something we got to respond to better, is somebody's got to make that next play and get us going.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank y'all. Have a good night.
All right. We will wrap up with Adam Fuller in just a second.